If I had to ask you what space in your house was most forgotten, but every time you saw it you were annoyed, what would you think? For us, it was the garage. It was always disgusting, dirty, grimy, not a place that I wanted to be. So we decided to clean up the garage and make it more like a showroom for our cars. I'm Tricia Farin. I'm a real estate agent with William Ravis in Newtown, and you're watching Keeping the Real in Real Estate. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to take a drabby garage and make it into something that you actually don't mind being in. Now, I don't have before pictures, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. We actually did our garage about I guess it's been 5 years ago. But it still looks as if we did it recently. And without having to do a lot of trial and error, this format that we put in actually worked. So before I show you what we actually did, I want to walk you through a little bit of the planning that we had to do. So we knew we wanted it to be clean. As you know, I'm afraid of mice, so I don't want to walk into a garage and have corners where things can easily hide or get through from the outside. So I wanted everything to be visible to me when I came in. I also wanted to be a source of storage. Because I don't go into our shed, I need to be able to grab the things that I'm going to use on a whenever basis, not something that's all the time, but those times where you just don't know what you're going to need. And I didn't want to have to worry that if I'm the only one in the house, I'm not going to be able to go grab a ladder because it's in the shed. So I wanted definitely some storage space. We also have a pellet stove, so I wanted to have an area where our pellets can live inside the house to make it easy to bring bags up to the fireplace. Also to not have to deal with the snow or any rodents or any other kind of animals forming any kind of home in our pellet storage. So it was very important for that to be the case. And I also didn't want any of the cars to have to worry about where they parked. So whether it be a big door hitting a wall or access for my car is electric, so access to the plug. I wanted to make sure that everything was going to be what we needed, not for the moment that we had done this in the past, but also for years to come, not knowing exactly what we were going to need going forward. And then another big criteria is I did not want to spend a fortune. I don't know if you've seen this trend coming through from me from all my videos, but I don't want to pay full price. I don't mind paying for quality, but I don't want to pay more just for the sake of paying more. So I always try to find a way of doing it that we still get what we want out of it, but we're not breaking the bank. So the first thing that we did is we brought in a couple of contractors to come in and share with us some ideas. Now, not knowing what anything costs at the time, we were looking for glitz and glam, epoxy flooring. We wanted to have the shelving unit put in so that we can easily store things on the wall. That's a fortune. Now we have a 3-car garage, and the prices that they gave us, I just couldn't even, I had to ask them, did you price for my garage for the things that we wanted? Because I couldn't understand why was it going to cost so much. So we had asked them if we could do epoxy flooring, and they said no. Not one contractor was willing to consider it because apparently we have a high moisture amount in our foundation. So if we would have gone forward with epoxy flooring, it would have chipped over the time in a very short time and not look that same sheen that you would expect when it was first put in. So that wasn't an option for us. So we had to come up with a different way of doing the floor. And one of the contractors had suggested that there is they're kind of like plastic tiles, very, very durable plastic tiles that get installed over the current floor, and that they're very hardy and they'll last for a long time, and we wouldn't have to worry about what kind of floor, what kind of car we would put on it. So we thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, so that was part of the quote that they gave us. And they had also indicated that you could do different patterns. I mean, my husband's a UConn basketball fan, and we could have put the emblem of the Husky right on the floor. I mean, the cost for it was ridiculous, and that wasn't going to happen. But just to know that we had these options actually was kind of cool. And then it became like, okay, so the pricing to do the shelving all through the basement, all through the garage was going to be too much. So what if we did only a portion? And no matter what way they re-engineered their quote, it became too much. So we kind of tabled it for a little bit. But I knew, as if you could just do some research, there are other ways of doing things. And I found it. So I found the tiles online, and I was able to get them for way, way less than what the contractor was indicating. I had a general handyman come, and he was able to install the whole flooring. He even put a special lip at the side of the garage, so there's an angle when the cars are coming up instead of a bump. And he cut the tiles so it's actually a seamless edge all over the garage. So it's beautiful. In addition, since we put in a gray floor, the other thing that I wanted was everything to look clean. On one side, or actually on two sides of the garage, we have sheetrock. So I wanted everything to be painted white, but wherever we had cement, which was on the front side of the house and a little bit towards the back, there's cinder blocks. So we had him paint the cinder blocks the same color gray as the floor. So now everything looks really fluid, and it's quite nice. It's a very clean look. Then I kind of understood the fact that putting in the shelving unit throughout the garage was going to be really, really expensive. There was no inexpensive way of doing it. So we sat down and talked about, well, what is it that we want to store in the garage? So once we establish what that is, I need pet supplies so I can easily put the dogs in the car. He wanted to have his golf clubs and things sports related that he uses on a more regular basis. Some tools. I wanted a ladder. And then there's just like miscellaneous car things, paint, random stuff that you keep in the house that normally doesn't have a home. And when we realized the kind of things that we were going to be storing in here, we didn't really need to have the whole garage have some form of mounting system. So what we were able to do right from Home Depot is pick up these beautiful Husky cabinets. And this is what we picked. They have all different sizes and shapes. So we put this one together based on our needs. But if we wanted another tall unit, if we wanted another short unit, we could have done it in any way we wanted. The best thing, they come assembled. Now they're heavy. They are heavy. But you can put sliders underneath it so you can slide them wherever you want them to go. You screw them into the back of the wall so that it has stability, and now it's perfect. We don't have to worry about a messy garage because everything is stored in closed doors, and it even has key locks. So if you have littles in the house and you don't want them to touch like the antifreeze that's in there or any of the paints or things that could be dangerous or toxic, you could just lock it up. And the keys work on all of them. So you don't need to have a different set of keys for each individual drawer or cabinet. This has been great for me because I'm one that likes things neat and organized, and we could just hide it away and close the doors. Then we just got a small beadboard that we were able to put different adapters into it. And what that did is it allowed us to put our tools in one place that's easy to put back, that's easy to see what we need. And they come in all sorts of different options. So we have little jars for screws and bolts. We have little cups for things that we could just, small items, paper clips or tacks or whatever it is that we not want that small, we can just toss that in there. And then there's specialty hooks for hammers and screwdrivers and our saws and whatever it is that you want to put there. Now we do keep some of our heavier tools inside the cabinet, but I'm talking about the quick, I need a measuring tape or I need the level. Something that you're always going through the drawers in your kitchen trying to say, where's the measuring tape? Now it's here and it works beautifully. And it always looks clean because there is a space for everything that we need. And then we have just a rod that we put for our snow shovel, the brushes for the car, and an umbrella. And there's more space that we could, if there's something else, a broom or something else that we want to put there. But it falls flat on the wall, so it doesn't impede on the door opening for the car or even when you're walking by. It has been a dramatic change for us. I no longer hate our garage. I can come in here barefoot and it doesn't I don't get gross stuff all over the bottom of my feet. Any grime from the tires actually fall through the holes that are in the tile flooring. So from a visual perspective and from a usability perspective, it's always clean. Now, yes, there's going to be leaves and sticks and things that blow in when we open the garage doors, and I go around and I clean that up, but this is pretty much how our garage looks all the time. You'll see there's plenty of space for our garbage can and our recycle bins and all the pellet bags that we are going to be storing for the season. I still have space for my electric charger, and even if we really wanted to, there is plenty of space on the walls if we felt the need to have more hanging spots or anything else that we wanted to use to store away. In the beginning, when we started getting quotes, and this is not for the epoxy flooring, this is to do the tile flooring that we have, paint the walls, and do some form of a storage system around the garage. They were quoting us at a low of $13,000 and at a high of $17,000. I mean, I had to laugh because there was no way I was spending $17,000 just to organize my garage. I mean, you could buy a car for that. Including all the equipment and hiring a contractor to do the floors and the painting, I spent $4,200. And it is beautiful, and it's durable, and everything stays organized. So I hope some of these ideas can help you see what you could do with your garage. Oh, and I could tell you, one day when we go to sell this house, this is going to be a selling factor. Like, who thinks that the garage is going to be a selling factor? But it will, because this is a nice place to park your cars. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.